Hello everyone, this is your woman Frankie Allen. I'm doing this video about this little girl. I'm sure you all heard the story about this little girl who had boiling water thrown in her face as she slept over to her friend's house. And I use that term friend loosely. As the story goes, from what I've been able to tell, it happened about a few weeks ago in Bronx, New York. And I remember seeing the mother on the news. I mean, she was horrified, of course, someone did this to her child. But she was saying that the little girl, the perpetrator who had done this to her little girl, she had taken her places with her, her mother and she had a relationship where they would deal with each other's children and pick them up or take them places or whatever the case may be. And she never thought that this little girl would do something like this. But the one thing that stood out when they were interviewing this mother, she said that one time her little girl told her that this neighbor had been mean to her. And I was like, okay. And I'm not blaming the mother or the little girl who was scalded in the face, because that was just totally very mean. I would even say evil to do. But it got me to thinking, some of us who grew, were born in the 60s or even before that, or in the 70s, how many times have adults told us, when there was a problem when children had a problem with each other, like, you all play nice, you all just work it out, y'all shouldn't be ugly acting, and, just be children. And a lot of times, some of the times, adults did stay out of it so you all can work it out. And we were just taught to be kind to each other. And if we did get into an argument or whatever, like I said, we were just taught to work it out and continue to try to be friends. But in this day and time, children are so different. They get into more than what we have gotten into. And I was thinking that I don't know what this little girl, when she told her mother that this little girl had been mean to her, I don't know what the little girl had done. But I think it's time out to stop telling our children to say, oh, play nice, oh, y'all work that out. I think it's time out for that, because at the end of the day, you don't know what some children are capable of. I mean, you listen to the news, you got children who are killing other children at daycares or doing things at school to other children. These little children are killers. I mean, it's bad to say it, but they are. This is the world that we live in. And so I just want to, like I said, this is just a video that's something that's been on my heart. I think we need to stop telling our children to be nice to people, to play nice, or make up with people, with other children who are mean to them. Bullying is on the rise. And I have two beautiful little nieces. My brother has two little girls. My sister-in-law birthed beautiful babies. And I just love them. And one thing that I tell them, when I talk to them, they live 4 hours away. So unfortunately, I can't see them as often. But I asked them how their week go, how did their week go in school, and do they have any friends? Are their friends nice? And I let them know, you don't have to let anybody mistreat you. Don't let anybody be mean to you. Tell someone you don't have to be their friend if they are mean to you. And that's something I think that was missed in generations. Maybe, I don't know. Let me just say this. Let me just base it off of my childhood. Let me just go there so I don't generalize or whatever. But, we were taught to be nice, and if there was a spat or whatever, we were taught to make it right. And I'm feeling different about that. If I were to have children, like I said, I'm trying to instill in my nieces, you don't have to be friends with somebody who is mean to you. Because what happens is, when they get to be adults, a lot of people, how many people you try to fit into, certain people try to fit into a certain type of group or be friends with certain type of people. And these people are not their friends. They're not nice to them. They're not a true friend for real. So I think it's important that we teach our children early what friendship really means. I mean, my nieces are only 9 and 5. But I don't feel like it's not too early to teach them what friendship means. And so with this little girl, this poor girl, who ended up with going over to a sleepover, for what I understand with the story, is that they had got into an argument, and the little girl had threatened that she was going to do something, and I understand once the little girl did end up in the hospital, she wasn't even aware that her so-called friend had even done this to her. And I just hope this little girl doesn't end up, I mean, I know she's going to probably have physical scars, possibly. I just hope that she can heal emotionally from this and not just put everybody in the same boat because something that this so-called friend, little girl, had done to her. The one who got scalded, I believe the report says she was 11 years old, and the one who did the act, who perpetrated this act against her, this crime, because that's what that is. That's a crime of assault. I would call it that. Just because she's 12, that does not mean a crime was not committed. She was 12 years old. So, but even in my time, my mother was very protective of me and of my brother and I me. So I don't even agree with all these sleepovers. It's like y'all go to school, y'all are, your neighbors, you see each other. I may have gone to my cousin's house one time to spend the night. And in this day and time, you just never know what the parents are like or who's coming in through the house or what they may be like. And, even though and even if you can trust the adults, if they have older children, you don't know what type of children they are or the people that they're calling their friends. Apparently, this took them by surprise because the mother was saying, I may be repeating myself, she would take her places and with her or pick her up. They had the mothers kind of work together with each other's children. So she didn't see it coming. And like I said, this little girl had told her mother that this person had been mean to her. But what she did, I don't know. And when a child tells you something, it's just best to probe a little bit further, like what happened. Now, if you got a child that lies to you, you should know. You birthed that child. You should know whether that child is a liar. You shouldn't be letting a child con you. You ought to know if the child is lying or not. But just probe a little further. Try to get what the whole story is all about. And I'm just right now, this day and age, I'm against telling a child to play nice. Well, you teach them to be nice, but to continue to be friends with somebody who is mean to them or just hoping that they will work it out. Because apparently you could get scalded in the face or any other, something else drastic. I mean, these little children are killing each other nowadays. So some things should not be ignored. And there's no telling how many times this other girl had been mean to this little girl. I don't know I don't know if she has any issues with making friends, or I don't know if she has self-esteem. I'm not saying she does, but I don't know. But sometimes as children, you want to be friends with somebody. You may not pick it up right away that this is actually someone you don't supposed to be treated this way. So I'm just believing that, and this is just my opinion, the fact that this little girl told her mother that this girl had been mean to her, it's probably more than that one time. It's probably numerous times that she's not even telling what this other girl has done to her or what they've discussed or how this girl has talked to her or treated her. So I just want to encourage everybody, aunts, and just as a community, find out how your children are thinking or what they're doing or how they're being treated, or just talk to them about certain situations. Because like I said, this is just a tragic thing that this girl went to somebody she trusted. Her mother trusted this little girl and the little girl's mother that her child will be safe and not end up in the hospital with second-degree burns. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. And now she has to remember her childhood. That's a scar or traumatizing event in her childhood because of a disagreement. I mean, that's cold. That's evil. The child, in my opinion, needs some psychiatry, a psychiatrist. I will get it out in a minute. Some counseling or something, because that's just mean. At that point in your age, you should know right from wrong. You should know that's not the right thing to do. You should know that will be painful. You don't do that. And the fact that this girl boiled that water and threw it on that girl's face while she was sleeping, deviant. And she needs some help. Seriously, bad. They need to get a handle on that. And you might say I'm judging her. I'm just calling it the way I see it. That's not normal. That is not normal at all. I mean, I could halfway, lightweight see them getting into a fight. But you wait till that girl go to sleep and pour boiling water on her face and cause her to be hospitalized? That's insane. That's insane. And so, like I said, I feel even with us, my mother used to have a saying, I don't lick, and I'm going to add something to it. I don't lick, I don't kiss, and I don't chase. You don't want to be my friend? That's perfectly okay. That's fine. That's fine. We can, agree to disagree or what have you. We could be cordial, but it's time for us to really know the value of friendships and eliminate people who are not really our friends. It's wasted space, taking up space, time, and energy. So I hate this little girl had to go through this. And this video is not by any means blaming her or her mother. But I think because we take for granted, because it is their children, I just want to encourage you all to, find out, what how your children react to certain things, or how do they feel about somebody saying certain things to them, because like I said, back in the day with me, and, I'm a country girl. I've explained it in my second video. I'm a country girl. We just, you're just supposed to work it out, play or whatever. And, just be nice. Don't be like that. Try to be a friend. No. I'm saying today it's time out for that. It's time out, and we need to try to encourage and put something in these young people's minds, in their hearts, where they know their value. They know their worth, and start them early. I don't care if it is another little girl. I don't care if it is, even with family members. I'm sick of that too. Family members can say in and everything and treat you any kind of way, but because they're blood, you put up with it. And then when they get old and they can't help it for real, then you sitting up here saying, oh, that's just how they are. That just, no. If somebody had checked them a long time ago, then maybe they wouldn't be saying all this slick stuff or being mean in the first place. I'm all about speaking truth or whatnot, but people who are taking advantage of people who are deliberately being mean to other people, bullying other people, get into your children's head and see, like I said, again, I am not blaming the mother and the daughter for this assault, but I'm just curious of how many times, if she told her mother one time about this little girl being mean to her, I wonder how many times has this little girl done something to her? Because that's 0 to 100 to go and pour boiling water on somebody's face to hurt them. Not her wide awake and y'all get into argument and probably fight or whatever. No, you wait till that little girl go to sleep and ambush her and commit an assault, a crime against her face. The face is the first thing that people see. So I just hope this little girl, she may need therapy. I don't know. I hope she doesn't let this experience just make her just untrusting of, make her bitter and make her untrusting of everybody. But I hear in the reports that she's back home, she's doing fine, which is a blessing. I'm so grateful for that. But I just want to leave this with you all. I know y'all probably think, oh, it's haiku. Yeah, that's what I write. But later on down the line, I'm going to be sharing some other pieces with you that's actually poetry or spoken word or whatnot. But I want to share with you haiku number 95, and it reads, don't subtract what's seen. Whatever you think you see, multiply times 10. A lot of things we discount we ignore, and we see little stuff, and we got to see more for some reason. But I'm at a point in my life, let me tell you something. If I see something that's not quite right, I don't have to wait till the whole thing blows up. I've learned, maybe sometime I will get into my story, but I've learned to just take it for what it is. If it doesn't feel right or seem right, you don't need to rationalize or compromise or justify that thing away. You need to just, oh, that's what it is. It's probably some more to that. Because that's where the saying, the tip of the iceberg comes from. Because why? You just see the tip. What you don't see is a whole mountain of ice in that ocean. You just seeing the tip of it. So, this, like I said, I don't know her mind state or why she felt like she had to be this friend. And it's, like I said, it's probably a neighborhood thing. And you just thought that, oh, we should be able to get along with friends, with neighbors. And let's just, I pick your child up, you pick my child up, and our children, you can play together and all of that. It's time out for that. I'm sorry. I mean, be friendly. But all this spending the night stuff, y'all see each other. No, I'm telling you, my mama was alive. No, y'all see each other. Y'all don't need to go spend the night. Y'all see each other at church. Y'all see each other at school. Y'all probably go to different places where y'all can play. No, there's no need to spend the night. So, and I'm not blaming them. It's a lot of people that, think like that. But like I said, it's what she was comfortable with. And it's not their fault she was comfortable with it. Because this little girl was totally, totally out of line to do this. And so I just want to encourage you to have that dialogue with your children. And just, every week I'm calling my babies. I call them my babies. I didn't birth them, but my nieces are my babies. I call them my babies, my little chicas. And I ask them, do you have friends? And how do they treat you? Because I don't want them to grow up thinking, I want them to be nice and show themselves friendly, yes, but I don't want them to feel like, if somebody be mean to them, they got to keep trying to be that person's friend. No. And like I said, I'm repeating myself, back in the day, you just told to work it out, and, for the most part, adults stayed out of it. But when I reflect back, a lot of people were mean. They were mean. And shouldn't have even been talking to them. I was picked on as well. I was picked on. I was talked about. And I should have just, we need to start teaching little boys and little girls what the true meaning of friendship is, instead of telling them, just be nice, work it out, y'all play fair, or no. When you find out your child has been mistreated by another child, no, they need to cut that. And that may seem a little harsh, be long handle spoon, how you doing? But yeah, because it can go, this day and time, it can go from 0 to 80. These are just my opinions, but it is so many cases of these little demonized children doing some evil stuff. And then we want to say, oh no, don't say that about the children. Oh, no. Tell that to the parent that had this act perpetrated against them. That's all. This is your woman, Frankie Allen. You know me. Hey, live this life. Go where you never, just do things that you've never done. Just go places, see the world, enjoy your life. That's what it's about. Eliminate people who's causing you stress if you can. Try to live, the scripture says, live peaceably. If you can't live peaceably with all men. But sometimes some people are not peaceable. You have to eliminate some people. They brought drama, so that's, convey that to your children early. Don't make any trouble. Don't go picking on people. Don't make fun of people who look different from you, dress different from you, or what have you. And we were definitely taught you don't make fun of children who were disabled. That was a no-no. We knew better, but nowadays people don't care. They make fun of people and don't even and think it's cute and think it's funny and just that's one thing about it. You will not see on my Facebook page of me body shaming another woman, because at the end of the day, or another man, because at the end of the day, they cannot help the way they look. Some people cannot help the way they look. And if they have a body type that you think is not the way you think it should look, you don't know what that person has gone through. the reason why they may be they may be anorexic or they may be overweight. You don't know. You really don't know. So just teach your children to know their worth early, and teach them that they don't have to tolerate certain things or certain type of talk from so-called friends or whatever the case may be, because when they get to be adults, it's a real world and people can be cruel. That's why it's so much abuse, so much domestic violence. But if you teach them early, when somebody's mean to you, I don't care if she is your neighbor. What did she say to you? What did she do? How many times, be honest with me, how many times has she done? Yeah. No, you don't have to be her friend. And then I will probably be the one talking to that mother. Like, I understand that your little girl is this and that. And I just think for the, it'll be best that we may not need to just hang around each other like that, because, I'm trying to teach my daughter that she's valuable or whatnot. But like I said, I'm not blaming this little girl and her mother. I just think it's just the culture of how, we have once thought that when children have a disagreement or whatever the case, we don't really take it serious because it's children. But let me tell you, these little children get evil, very evil. So I've gone on and on and on, and love, peace, and joy to you. This is your woman, Frankie Allen. Remember that haiku? I'm telling you, haiku 95. Remember that. We don't rationalize with it. You have an intuition. You know what you're seeing. You know what you're hearing. And you need to just take it in. And everybody's not your friend. Everybody. I know there's certain levels. And you can have associates who are really nice. They're really good. But, I'm talking about these people who are saying slick stuff and saying little mean, undercover stuff. Thinking it's funny. And then they talking about you going to the next, and all of this petty stuff. And those things do go on in elementary school, high school. Those things do go on. But we need to start teaching our children, it's okay. You don't have to, I like, even now, I like quality. I don't like a whole bunch of folks around me. That's dead weight. If you're not about going somewhere or about that being positive and telling things like, just being honest about certain situations and being able to think reasonably, I don't have to be your friend. Don't want you as a friend. And I'd rather have 2 or 3. That's all God did. He say, hey, 2 or 3, I'll be in the midst. I don't need a whole entourage of folks around me. I don't. More people, the more people there is, all these different personalities and stuff, people who don't even have substance, no, I don't have time for that. So, like I said, this is your woman, Frankie Allen. And hopefully this, will give you all something to think about, really, really get into what your children are thinking and how things are going. Who are your friends? How do they treat you? How do they talk to you? Teach them about self-worth and self-esteem. And don't encourage them to just get along to get, go along to get along. If that person is being mean to you, then you separate yourself from them. If they have a spat or argument, depends on what the argument is about. But if that other person is just shooting out venom and being mean to that person, no, you need to tell them, let that go. That's not your friend. They can't celebrate you, be happy for you. Not your friend. So, like I said, hey, y'all better enjoy this life. Be careful who you all have in your life. And just go where you never been, do things you never done, and see things you never seen. Let me tell you something. This is your woman, Frankie Allen. Love, peace, and joy. I'm out. Thank you. God bless.